Hey you guys, it's Hyper here, and Cinema 4D Tuts said that I could do a tutorial for him on his channel. And today the tutorial we're going to be doing is on a free plugin for Cinema 4D called Thrausi. And here is an example of what we're going to be doing today. As you can see, it's got a really nice transition through the text. It looks really nice. So let's go into Cinema 4D. First off, I want to go to MoGraph, Text Object. Change the text object to whatever you want it to be. I want mine to say, for the purpose of this tutorial, Cinema 4D Tuts. You change the depth to whatever you want. Around 50 is the best for this. You can also change the font to whatever you want. I'm going to be using one of my favorite fonts. It's called Ethnocentric. You select the font. You're going to want to center this one up again. And then, whichever one I'm going to do, select the text object, go to Control-C, Control-V. This copies the text object, so you have to redo all your settings. And then you go to and you can change this text object to whatever you want it to say. I'm going to hit Presents. And you're probably going to want to drop the height down a little bit, since it's the secondary text. Center it, and pull it up a little bit. Now once you're done with that, you select your first object and hit C on the keyboard, which makes it an editable object. And you're going to go to Edit, select Children, and hit C once more. That makes all of the children editable. And then you'll go to Object, Connect plus Delete. And what this does is it makes it a whole object for you to pull. And then you're going to do the same for the second text object. Hit C on the keyboard, makes an editable object. Select Children. Hit C once more, makes all the children editable. And then you go to Object, Connect plus Delete. And now with that done, you can remove these tags since we don't need them anymore. And now we can add some color. And you can make the colors whatever you want, but for this tutorial, I'm going to make the first text have yellow on the inside. So we'll drag this up here, select a nice yellow. And then I'm going to have blue on the outside. Drag it over here. Maybe one of the lighter shade, darker shade of blue, whatever you want. It's basically your choice to whatever you want. And the color you want on the inside of the pieces, you're going to put that one first. So I want yellow on the inside and blue on the outside. And before we get further, I would recommend renaming this to, sorry about that, I put the colors on the wrong text. Let me just make sure here. Yeah. So you're going to want to rename this whatever you titled it. So I'm going to be C4D Tuts and Presents. And like I said, you drag the first color you want onto the inside, the second color onto the outside. And then for the other text object, I'm just going to make one of them pure white, have white on the inside, purple on the outside. Just drop it in there. Now once you've added the color, we're ready to add Thrausi. You go to Plugins, Thrausi, Thrausi. And it's got all these settings. You're just going to want to leave all of them alone except for pieces. You're going to want to make it 20 pieces and hit break. And it takes Thrausi a little bit to break, so just wait a little bit and be patient. And once it breaks, we'll be ready to go. Oh, sorry. You're gonna want to select both the text layers before you hit in the Thrausi. My bad. Then you hit break. And then once it's done breaking, we'll be ready to go on to the next step. Just wait a little bit. Once you see, it'll break it up into all the little pieces for us to edit with. Okay guys, we're back, and as you can see, it's broken up all into a bunch of pieces, and so you can close Thrausi now. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Mode Graph and add a fracture object. You're gonna want 2 of these, and all the pieces that say Cinema 4D Tuts, you drag all of those into one fracture object, and you select all that presents and drag it into another fracture object. And you can rename the fracture object Fracture Presents. Rename this one Fracture Cinema 4D Tuts. And now after you're done renaming them, you're going to want to select all the pieces in the fracture object, not just this. What you don't want is that selected. You're going to want to select all the pieces inside of it. And then you're going to go to Object, Delete Without Children. And now you can see it's just got all the pieces in there. Now we're going to want to do the same for the other. Select all the pieces, go to Objects, Delete Without Children. Okay, once we're done with that, you can go to Mode Graph, Plane Effector. So you go to Mode Graph. Where is it? Plane Effector. You're going to want 2 of these as well. You want to select one of them, go to Mode Graph, and then Plane Effector, and then select the other one, Mode Graph, Plane Effector. And then you're going to want to select both of these, go to Parameter, and select the y-axis and change the value to 0. Okay, with that done, you go to Scale. With both of them still selected, you go to Scale, under Parameter, Uniform Scale, and change it to -1. And this makes it disappear. And now to get it back, you're going to add a fall off, and you're going to add linear fall off. As you can see, it's come back but not fully. And to get it back fully, you're going to change the coordinates to -90 on the rotation. And see, we're getting there. You can see the transition starting to piece together. Now with that done, you're going to want to select one of the plane effectors and go to fall off and check invert. And before you, make sure you select them all when you're trying to drag it across. Oh, whoa. So, before you invert that one, undo that, because we inverted the wrong one. You're going to want to go to check invert on the other one, so that when you swipe from left to right, you can see that it says Cinema 4D Tuts and drags into presents. Okay, now that we're done with that, you're going to want to select both of them and group them together by going Alt-G. Makes it a null object. You can rename it to Effectors.